Welcome once more, my patronites, to another video. On today's video, I am going to show you the easiest bread that you can make, the most forgiving bread recipe. It's a no-knead bread. It doesn't require a lot of stuff, and as long as you can follow the simple instructions, you'll get it. We're going to be doing a crusty, no need, just a rustic bread, Now, for this bread, you're gonna need, very importantly, a crock pot. They call it crock pot, but it's a artisan. They call it all kind of names, artisan bread, this, that, the bread. But you're gonna need one of these enamel cast iron or even a cast iron pot. You're gonna need some parchment paper. Those are the two ingredients outside of everything we are gonna need for bread recipe. These are always there, the yeast, the flour, the everything, but these are the extra ones: parchment paper and a crock pot or a cast iron enamel crock pot. So inside here I have me some of my regular ingredients: 6 cups of white all-purpose flour. If you want to use bread flour, fine. Okay, to this I am going to be adding like a tablespoon and a half of my instant yeast. And I go eyeball out the half. Yeah, remember to make sure your yeast is active. Make sure you keep it inside your refrigerator. Some people say freezer, but I never put it in my freezer. I always put it in my fridge. 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar I'm using. You could use any sugar because the yeast needs the sugar to feed off. So we're gonna mix in the yeast and the sugar right now. And I say 6 cups and a little because we're gonna need some flour, a little extra flour. You could put a little oil if you want, and you or some melted butter, and you don't have to. It's a rustic bread, you know, but it's very nice. It's good for sandwiches, it's good for garlic bread, you know, all them lovely things. Now we am going to be putting in 2 teaspoons of salt. So if you're putting it in or doing it like how I'm doing it, you want to make sure you do it, you mix the yeast in. You don't want to at any given point be ever putting your salt or your yeast directly onto your salt, vice versa, whatever. That's just it. You're going to mix in. You're going to be needing about 3 cups of water, and this is going to be warm water. You know, say you're supposed to just feel it. Yeah, test it like your baby bottle. You're going to be putting it in there. You want a sticky dough. Notice we not use no hand mixer now, and you'll see to mix it. You want a very sticky dough. So you'll need about 3 cups of your regular. You can use, I don't have one at this point. I'm trying to get one. What's this thing? Those little I'll tell you the name of it, or I'll put it on the screen. So it's a rustic bread, you see it? Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you something else about it. So you just want to mix in with your spoon, and or if you have that thing, can put a little bit more. The dough is supposed to be like super soft, some kind of way. That is it, and I think that was just the full 3 because I had a little more than 3 in here. I'll show you. This is how you want it. Very rustic, very easy to make, very rewarding, tastes very good, nice and everything. Yeah, this is how it is a sticky. It must be sticky. It must be soft. You don't want it too firm. Okay, so you don't need it. No, not all. You're just gonna do it. You don't need to put it into any container to leave it to proof, to grease the container. We are gonna leave it to proof. But at this point, we're not going to remove it as we did with the others that I showed you. Okay, so let me scrape this off, and I'm going to be wrapping it with my plastic wrap. You see how easy it is? You can't go wrong. If you want to put some melted butter, you put it. If you don't want to put it, if you want to put sugar, plastic wrap time. Plastic wrap time. You see how rusty it is? Yeah, I saw it. This rusty, very forgiving. You're not supposed to spoil it. It doesn't require a lot of ingredients, nor does it require a lot of preparation. So let me cover it with my plastic wrap. You will want to put it somewhere that is very warm, as I'm gonna have to probably double this. You will want to put it somewhere very warm. Where I am now, it's a bit on and off, so I have just turned my oven light on. You know, put it on a temperature, you know, and I'm gonna let it stay there for about 1.5 hours. So look here, in the next clip you will see why we need the crock pot and the parchment paper. So patronize, after about 1.5 hours, this is how you see that softness. Yes, so we are going to flour. This is what, so it's 6.5 cups. So you're gonna need 6.5, 6 cups in here and a half to flour your board. And this is my pastry mat, and you can find one of these on the Amazon storefront. We will have the link up there for you. So you're gonna need a scraper. Okay, you see it? So you're gonna use the scraper. This is why it's called a no-knead bread. This is how it must look. It must have this look when coming out, or else, as I said, it is a very forgiving bread. It's very hard to spoil. Okay, so you're gonna need the must that you need a scraper. You're gonna need this mat. So you start doing this now with the floured board that you have on here. It's a little different, this bread, but it's a very rewarding bread. So you get some flour onto it. You don't get your hand messed up in there. You see how soft it is? So you do this. Spin it over a few times so it's coming together. Yeah. This is how it is. You are going to need your cast iron in a mill or your straight cast iron. So you're going to need your parchment right now. You're going to roll a big piece, and I'll show you. And you're gonna have it here. Remember, the parchment is right. So look at it here. You're gonna, so if you have to, you don't want to put too much flour on it, you know, at this point. You just want to ball it around a little. So you put a little, not too much. And you wanna ball it around. And this is how it works. Now that you have balled it around, it's soft, so you want to get it like this, right on to your parchment. Onto your parchment, right there. There comes your cast iron in a mill. You lift it up in your parchment, you fit it down, and if it is too much here, you want to use your scissors to take off some of it. I want to do a little extra cutting. Wherever it is that you set it to proof, you're gonna put it back there with this on top of it here and leave it out to let it continue proofing for another 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, now patronites, we got a big bread going on. So what we want to do now, we want to sprinkle a little dry flour over the top. Let us use our hand, or better yet, if you have any of those to shake a thing, it's better. So let us sprinkle a little. We are preheating our oven to 420 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to put it in there after it has been preheated for 30 minutes. So you just want to, you want to do it at this point, you know, see there? It's very soft, and you sprinkle the flour. You don't want to over sprinkle it. Now you're going to need, I haven't got that little that little thingy there yet. So this now is going to help to give you a crispy crust. You're going to need a sharp pastry knife, or this. They have a special little thing, but I haven't gotten it as yet. So you want to make this incision. Some people do it how they want to do it. Some people make it all. I'm just going to make like a 4-way thing there. So you drag the dough. And you can do this too. You just make a little pattern there at the top. Yeah. So we're gonna put it in the oven at 420 for 30 minutes, and we are going to cover it. Cover it in this pot here. Put it in there for 30 minutes, and when after 30 minutes I'll return, show you what it looks like, and when I show you what to do. So after that 30 minutes, this is how our bread look. You see that? Yeah, it's firm, but we're gonna bake it at 375 to 380 for another 10 to 15 minutes until the top is just crummy and brown and set. Okay? So here is our final. You see that? It's supposed to come with this crisp crust. Yeah, so you don't want to leave it in your thing much for too long. So we're gonna lift it out. We're gonna lift it out. We couldn't find our rack. We're gonna let it stay there on top of our oven. You see that? Give them a real 360 at this. You can just brush your flour off. That was just, that's okay. If you want it to get a little more crispy, you could sprinkle it with a little water and put it back for another 5 minutes. This is our bread. This is our crock pot bread, our artisan bread, our just a rustic bread. I'll let it cool down a bit, and then I'll come back and show you. Make sure you get it where hair is going underneath it, because it will stay right there and it will become soggy. You don't want that. Next clip. So my bread has cooled down somewhat. You see this? So let's cut it. Remember, it's crispy. So I want you to see what it looks like on the inside. This bread is the most forgiving bread you can ever think of. You can never go wrong. Thanks for watching.